Hello, class. I wanted to talk to you about something fun this time. I mean, I know I've been doing real serious talks about like the recent things in chemistry and science in general, and I've been talking quite a bit about infectious disease this semester. It's just the way that the news cycle goes. There's a lot of infectious disease going around. But I thought I'd change topics, talk about something kind of fun. So the fact that mummies smelled awesome. So this is interesting quite a bit, and this is honestly is not surprising because people used to eat mummies, and they pretty much almost all ran out of mummies now. I mean, there are still some, but they were much more plentiful in the past, and people would eat them. So it makes sense that they actually smelled good because the whole olfactory system, right, is our smell and our taste, and if it smells good, typically it tastes good too. So not too surprising. But here's an article here, and so they looked at the mummies, and there are a couple interesting things that mummies had their own sort of distinct smell. They all smelled similarly, but they also had like a personal characteristic smell. And I mean, I know that animals identify by smell. There's certain people I can't tell everyone's personal scent, but some people's scents I know what they smell like, for instance, and people do have their own personal scent for me. But I have a pretty strong sense of smell in general. But there are people that can be trained, and they can train their noses almost like an analytical instrument. And this for me myself, I worked for Bath and Body Works and Victoria's Secret as an intern. Like my father worked there, and I when I was in between in summer breaks, I would work there too. And I wasn't trained. There are some people that are amazing at this, and to be honest, it takes people typically 10 years to have the nose to train you on this manner. And but at least for a lot of these personal care products, I was really good. I could identify them, like in an elevator. I could tell, pretty much what kind of different products people are wearing. I can't do that anymore. It's just I've forgotten how to do that. But I mean, it's also interesting. I mean, these are these trained people that do that, and to look at things. And I mean, so the different spices and agents that they would use in the mummification process. And I wonder if part of the own personal smell of the individual, or they didn't even mention, but I know they would mummify things like cats and falcons and that stuff in Egypt. I mean, I don't know if the species smell. They didn't include this in the article. There's just some questions that I have, like, oh yeah, I wonder if different animals smell differently. But and it's interesting that so the prominent descriptions of the mummies were woody, spicy, and sweet. And so woody, I mean, so certain things that are woody, sandalwood, cypress, duh. Those are some of our woody smells that we use in our fragrances. Spicy, this is more like they're like not spicy as in hot peppers. Spicy is something like in the article mentions anise. So kind of like a licorice is a spicy smell. Cinnamon. Oh, it would be hard to say because cinnamon kind of is also a woody smell. I would personally characterize cinnamon as a spicy smell. Sweet also, just in general things smell sweet. I mean, not included toluene, for instance. Toluene smells kind of sweet, or a lot of ketones smell sweet. I know I'm using the chemical term there. So toluene, that's typically like model glue. If you've ever made like a plastic model and the glue smells really good, that's usually toluene. And I do not sniff that too much, so because that's dangerous for you as well. A lot of ketones smell sweet. So acetone, for instance, is a ketone. It can have I think it has a sweet smell. So that's just kind of the idea there. But I mean, trying to locate that and trying to train someone to give categories for these. It like I said, takes a while. That's not included in the article. So this is interesting. And then at the end of the article, I thought it was kind of cool. They talked about museums where you can have so multi-sensor, so you can have sound, you can have smell, and the people remember it more. And I mean, this makes sense. For first of all, smell is the strongest scent when it comes to memory. So like if you have a certain smell, it can go right into your memory bank, especially unfortunately for people with PTSD. Danger, we humans remember danger very well, and there's certain smells of danger. So if someone is in a certain experience and they smell something, it can take that person right back into that state of mind to when the danger happened. But it is very, like I said, smell is very tied to memory. And it'd be interesting to see multi-sensory things. And it mentioned sound. I just kind of remember when I was a kid, when they were doing like the dinosaurs, and they had these screeching sounds of the dinosaurs and that kind of thing. And of course, we know now that dinosaurs they're ancient birds and they're full of feathers, and we don't even know what they'd sound like. But I mean, when I was a kid, they were still think they're giant lizards, which is, dinosaur means terrible lizard kind of thing. But I mean, I remember that. I don't remember how it smells though. So it was just like a plain old museum. But there are various smells that I smell that take me back to certain things, like the smells of boxwoods in the sun, for instance. That's something that takes me back to some childhood memories. Chlorine in the pool. I kind of like that smell, the chlorine and the pool chlorine smell. I mean, it just reminds me of swimming in the pools when I was a kid, for instance, and so that kind of comes back. So it'd be interesting if there's the multisensory museums. Of course, this is not as applicable in a museum like this, right? So you're not going to be able to smell the mummy. But I mean, can you imagine? I also think of like the archives of the Declaration of Independence and the original Constitution. Of course they have that stored under inert gas, kind of thing. But they're not going to let us normal plebeians smell it. Maybe who knows? Like in the after hours, maybe someone can go in and smell it. But then again, they have to discharge and recharge the inert gas, so probably not. So, anyways, just thought it was an interesting article. It's something, little lighthearted break from everything, because I talked about some serious topics, and the reminder that science is everywhere. Chemistry is a study of matter, and matter is in a lot of places, including mummies. So, and our senses, like the sense of smell, for instance, is a direct chemical probe. So it's interesting. This is all interesting, I think, and it also brings up other topics like history, and anthropology. So, which are very important fields of study. So of course, I tend to be chemistry centric, but I guess you're taking a chemistry class, so it makes sense that you would. So I hope you enjoy the deviation for something, multidisciplinary and kind of fun science there. With all my articles, with my videos, I hope you're doing very well. If you're not doing well, if you're having trouble having your basic needs being met, if you're dealing with mental health issues, if you're dealing with other academic issues or anything else that you need some help with, feel free to reach out to me, and I'll do what I can to help. So, aloha.